Good morning, boys. So today we're going to be dealing with the pronoun. So at the end of this lesson, you should know what a pronoun is. You should also know what pronoun agreement is, and then you will also know what pronoun agreement errors are. And the third thing that you will know by the end of this lesson is the appropriate pronouns to be used depending on circumstance. Let's go. Okay, so the first place we're going to start is the what. So what is a pronoun? Please remember that a pronoun takes the place of a noun, okay? So it stands in the place of another noun. So instead of being clumsy, and let me use the example here, instead of being clumsy in the way that we structure our sentence and we say the boy scratched the boy's armpit, we say the boy scratched his armpit. Therefore, his in this example is our pronoun and it stands in the place of the boy. Okay, so when we want to know what a pronoun is, then that's what we bear in mind. It stands in the place of another noun. Okay. Please don't get it confused. A pronoun is not the same thing as a proper noun. That's a very common mistake that is usually made. It is not an abbreviation of a proper noun. Those are two completely different parts of speech. And also, a pronoun is not a figure of speech. Don't get confused between a figure of speech and a part of speech. This is specifically a part of speech. A pronoun is a part of speech. Okay, so if you're looking at these examples, his and their are the pronouns. So the boy scratched his armpit, his is our pronoun, and also the boys scratched their armpits, their is also a pronoun there. Okay, now there is a new word there, antecedent. And an antecedent means the noun that comes before the other thing. So the thing that comes before the other thing is called an antecedent. Now, when we talk about pronoun agreement, then we are talking about the antecedent having to agree with the thing that comes after it. Okay, so if you look at the first example, the boy is one, it is singular. Okay, therefore that antecedent has to agree with its pronoun, which is his. We can't say the boy scratched their armpit because we are referring to one boy. Therefore, the pronoun has to be one. So when we're talking about pronoun agreement, that's what we mean. Okay, and if you look at the second example, the boys scratched their armpits. There you can see that the boys, which is the antecedent, is plural and it matches or it agrees with its pronoun, which is their, which is also plural. Okay, so when we're talking about pronoun agreement, that's what we're talking about. Our antecedent has to agree with our pronoun. Okay, so if we look at this example here, and we're asking ourselves what a pronoun error is, that is when the pronoun does not agree with its antecedent. Okay, so if you look at the first example there, if a student wants to be successful and get good grades, they must attend class regularly and submit all of their homework on time. So if you notice with this example, our antecedent, which is a student, does not agree with the two pronouns because the two pronouns are they and their, and they are plural. So do you see, the student is one, but the pronouns are plural. Therefore, there is no agreement there. So therefore, that is a pronoun error. So in that case, we would then have to we would have to rewrite the sentence and make it, if a student wants to be successful and get good grades, he or she must attend class regularly and submit all of his or her homework on time. Okay. Other people, like me, I'm like this. If I don't know how else to change something, I usually completely change it and write it in a completely different way. So you could write this sentence in a different way by saying, if students want to be successful and get good grades, they must attend class regularly and submit all of their work on time. So do you see there, we simply changed a student to students and we made it a plural. Okay. And this is something that we don't notice much, especially at our school, because it's all boys. So if we're talking about a student, it's perfectly normal for us to refer to boys because we only teach boys. So this is very important when we find ourselves in an environment that is outside of St. David's and we're dealing with people that are not just boys, but boys and girls as well. Okay, so it's your turn. In this part of the lesson, you've basically learned what a pronoun is, and you've learned what pronoun agreement is, and you've learned what pronoun agreement errors are. So there will be an exercise on Google Docs for you, and you are going to underline the antecedent, and you're going to underline the pronoun, and you are going to indicate whether or not they agree with each other. And then when you're done with that, you're going to go to the second attachment, which is also a PowerPoint like this one, and that's going to explain the second part of our lesson.